Hey, so good evening out there, everybody. Hey, it's your boy Pastor Rod Hickman calling you from or coming in from Generational Wealth Builders headquarters here in the grand old city of Covington, Tennessee. So happy to be with you. As you know, our motto that we always share is poverty ends with us. And so what I'd like to do tonight, I just fell on my heart to basically get on for a little bit, and I got a special treat for you. I got a friend of mine, very dear friend. Should just go ahead and call him a brother. But yeah, I got a very dear friend of mine that's gonna get on tonight here in a bit, and when he gets on, we're gonna just chop it up and just really have a good time as we look at just basically some different options to talk about how to earn income. How do you make your money, and are you truly excited about it? I don't know about you, but I am ecstatic about what's going on right now. I know in my own life, I'm just super excited to be able to be in business for myself. A lot of people want to do it, but not a lot of people can do it. And so, again, that's no knock on anybody. But I just want to talk for a few minutes as we are kind of getting together here. Really want to talk about, are you satisfied with the way you make your money, right? Are you satisfied with how it is that you make a living for yourself, for your family? Are you proud? Do you feel like, hey, man, there's probably some things that I could do to probably make some additional money? I could probably push myself. How often have you been in a place where you're like, man, I know I could do this job, but maybe you're just a little nervous to step out on your own, right? So that's what we want to talk about tonight. And as we get ready to, just really have this great dialogue tonight, I want you to prepare your heart because, like I say, the fellow that I have coming in, great friend of mine. We go back all the way to the 90s, all the way to the 90s. And again, he was my first best friend. He was well, not my first best friend, but my first battle buddy in the Army. Where you saw him, you saw me. And so I'm just so excited to be on here tonight just to talk about it. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to look at, I just thought it would probably be best to take a look at what's known as the cash flow quadrant. And this is something that Mr. Richard Kosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has made quite famous. His presentation of this has really encouraged a lot of people to really start thinking about ownership and really start thinking about what it is that they want to do and how it is that they really want to make money. So let me share my screen real quick. And if you're out there and I appreciate it. I see you out there, Lady Glover. May the Lord bless you. Yeah. So give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. So when we look at what's called the cash flow quadrant, right? It basically said that there are 4 different ways in which you, the individual, can produce income, right? There are 4 different ways. And one of those ways is being an employee. The other way is being self-employed. Another way is being a business owner. And the last one is being an investor. So let's start off with the employee. So let's look at what Mr. Kosaki is saying about this. So as an employee, you have a job, right? It says there's no leverage and your chance of gaining wealth is at 5%, right? And it basically says right here, if you can see up under, the amount of work determines the amount of income. And we know that just because the amount of work you do determines the income, it does not necessarily mean that that's how much you're worth. It's just basically saying if you work that job, you basically come to an agreement that you make $10, $12, $15 an hour, $22 an hour, or if you're a salary employee, then you work basically you basically have already negotiated your salary up front. And so if you've already negotiated your salary, then that's pretty much it. you're going to pretty much work for them for that agreed amount of money, right? So an employee really has no leverage in their wealth, right? And I know some of y'all probably saying, well, I get overtime and stuff like this, that, and the other. Well, yeah, but that's not when you want it. That's when the company will allow it, right? So that's what we're seeing here with this cash flow quadrant. The next one is the S. And again, I want us to take a look at this tonight and see which one are you. We see the self-employed. And again, the thing about self-employed people is that, again, it's all on you. And what it says here is you own the job, meaning it's your job. So let's look at it in a lawn care service or in a, how else we want to say it? If it's in a, whatever it is, detailing business or even if you're a consultant, right? You own the job. And so basically, you can make money and you can make money where you're worth. However, the drawback is that when you're not working, you're not making any money, right? These are one of those situations, especially we see these a lot of times in fast food industries or in the food industry. People that start their own restaurant, right? When do they get to take days off? And when they take days off, guess what's happening? The doors are closed, right? For the majority of the time, the doors are closed. Why? Because they're the one that's primary there. They're the primary cook. They're the one making everything that's going on. And that can be a lot of pressure. Now, again, you can make money, but God forbid, let's hope that nothing happens where you get sick and you're not able to stay and continue working and you don't have anybody that you can trust in. What are you going to do as a self-employed individual? Now, again, I applaud all entrepreneurs, right? Hear me and hear me good. And understand, you could be a combination of any or all of these. Right. But I really just want to kind of talk about it and get us to start thinking, where are you? Because in my heart and in my mind, we are living in right now what I like to call the economic gold rush. And what I mean by that, right now, if you can't make it right now, then it's because you don't want to. Right. It's because you're making enough excuses to not do it. There is enough need out here for everybody, whether it's being a DoorDash driver, whether you want to start delivering stuff. I mean, there are plenty of opportunities out here for anyone that wants to really make an impact and change their life. All right, let's go to a business owner. Now, as a business owner, you own a system, right? And when it starts talking about a system, that means that it continues to run even when you're not there. Now, this would be more like a franchise or something like that. Or if you have something that's on social media or something of that nature, where you don't have to necessarily do something in order to make money, right? Again, I'm just thinking like if you farm some business out to, let's just say Amazon of sorts, or you farm your business out to someone else and all you have to do is just check the numbers to make sure that your money is right. Like if you have one of those e-com businesses, right? You got an e-com business where you're sitting there and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I started out with 100 widgets. People are buying it, and I got somebody else is sitting in consignment somewhere. Yeah, I'm just watching my money as my product goes out. I'm watching my product come back in, right? So that's a business owner, right? And again, the thing about that, you own the system. And notice what it says here. As a result of that, you have a 95% chance to become wealthy. And the thing is, as with the business system, you have people working for you or working with you, not necessarily for you, but you have people working with you. Like I said, in the e-com industry, if you're selling widgets and you got Joe's, consignment shop to hold your inventory, right? And you're paying him, that if somebody order your stuff, you just come back and get the check, right? That's kind of a example of what a system is. And then we have investors. And the investor basically doesn't do work. They basically find a way to, they just find something that they believe in, and they just basically put money to support it. And their money makes them more money, right? They begin to invest, whether it's in the stock market, however, you may want to help somebody start up a business, right? So you may front them the money and say, you know, hey, I got this $20,000. I'll give it to you for a share, and then you can identify, you know, how you actually want to do that, what you want to earn, things of that nature. So that's how that works. And so that's the cash flow quadrant. And so before I close this out, I want to ask you out there, wherever you are, whether it's on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube, where are you? Which one are you? And if you don't mind, put it in the chat so we can see exactly which one you feel like you are. And you don't have to answer this in the chat, but this is more for you. Are you happy where you are? Are you happy if your employee just going to work from 9 to 5 and that's what it is and that's what it's going to be? You're just happy with that. And if that's okay, that's okay. Because here's what I want you to understand. If you're happy with it, that's really all that matters. Doesn't matter about my expectation or anyone else's expectation. It matters if you're happy where you are. Again, if you're self-employed, I know that some people that love to work for themselves, right? And as a result of working for themselves, it gives them great independence. Again, I am self-employed. I have a consulting business. And so again, when I get contracts to come and consult with companies, I'm super duper excited. Why? Because that's my business. I own it. And what people are getting is me. And people are willing to pay for me. They're willing to pay for Roger. They're willing to pay for my experience. They're willing to pay for my services. And so that's a wonderful thing. But at the same time, when Rod can't work, when Rod, again, God forbid if anything should happen where, you know, Rod have to get the sniffles or whatever the case may be, and Rod can't go to work, does Rod get paid? And the answer is no. Will Rod maybe farm it out to somebody? But if I do farm it out to somebody, I've now got to pay that individual as well, right? So that's the thing about being self-employed. Being a business owner, again, one thing about being a business owner is that you own a system. Whatever it is that you're representing, again, that's what it is. Now, and again, this is where, again, I want you to understand the difference between being self-employed and a business owner. As self-employed, you own the job. So for all my cosmetologists, for all the people, again, consultants that do service, barbers, things like that, you are the job. People come to you specifically for your service. As a business owner, they pretty much come to wherever it is. So a great example of this would be if I stay in the cosmetology arena, whoever owns the barbershop or whoever owns the cosmetology shop, they are the people that are the business owners because they have the other people, the self-employed people, the barbers, the cosmetologists that are working with them, right? And so they're getting their money based on what those people are doing. And that can also be an investor as well, where you don't even come in there, but you just basically provide the shop. All right. All right. So that's what I wanted to share with you all as far as it goes with the cash flow quadrant. And just really excited tonight again about my friend. I'm waiting on him to come on in. And when he comes in, I want you to hear his story and look like we have him right here.
Yo, man.
Hey, man, how you be, bro? You all right, man? Can you hear me? Okay. Well, ladies and
Have
gentlemen, I
some
want to
technical
introduce.
difficulties.
Oh no, man. Well, let me take some time to introduce you to the world there. Everyone, this is my man, my very first battle buddy. Dude, I go way back, all the way back to the 101st Airborne Division, Air Assault. There, Charlie Battery, second of the 320 Field Artillery.
There it is,
Mr.
man.
James G. Jackson, and the G stands for Gedrick. We used to always
Gedrick, that's right.
Yeah. Well, man, won't you introduce yourself to everybody, man? Introduce yourself.
Man. Hey, man, how y'all doing? My name is James G. Jackson. The G is for Gedrick. You know, I'm just a country boy coming straight out of Louisiana. Ex-military, ex-college student, now entrepreneur, dad and husband, you know, all that good stuff.
Yes.
You know, me and my boy Hick, we go back some decades, you know what I'm saying? The gray starting to show a little bit, but that's all right, baby. That's all right.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, man, listen, I really wanted to bring you on here because I saw where you posted something this week and it really just blessed my heart. And as we were talking today, I had the wrong understanding. Um, there on Facebook, shared early this week, man, and said, I got all mine with me in one place. And I knew you had started your own business in the pandemic, right?
Yep.
And as you had started your own business in the pandemic, again, that's where I started mine, right? That's where generational wealth builder started. I was doing it in my room, in the living room, in the kitchen, anywhere I could just sit down and get on there and do what I do. And so when you posted the picture, I was like, oh, he done set up a little place in the house. But come to find out, man, you now have a brick and mortar office. You have your own office suite now.
Yep.
Man,
Sure
that's
do,
phenomenal.
man.
That's phenomenal. Now tell everybody what it is that you do and the name of
uh,
your business.
I, yeah, the name of my business is East Feliciana Designs. It is a engineering and drafting company. There's hold on, let me see what the boom. There go the logo right there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's LSU. Here go the logo.
Yeah, yeah,
Gotta represent the Tigers.
yeah.
But yeah, man, I've been shoot. I got into this field, dude, after I left the military.
Hmm.
Um, so that's been, man. I ain't trying to tell our age, bro. I ain't
Don't
trying to
do it.
do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah.
But I have some substantial years in this industry, and man, I tell you, I actually left. I actually started my own company and went out on my own uh, right before the pandemic. So this was I gave my notice to my employer in October 2019,
Hmm.
and I was trying to quit, but he kept making me stay around. Hey man, I need you to do this. I mean, I need you to do that. That dragged on to about mid-December. And in mid-December, I just said, you know what, I gotta go. I gotta do this.
Right.
It's time for me to get out here on my own. So, um, and like I said, that was before the pandemic even kicked up. So, and man, when I jumped, dude, I had just bought this house I'm in right now.
Uh-huh.
I got my three kids. My daughter, she was graduating high school, about to go off to college, and I just jumped, dude. I
Yeah.
jumped because like I said, this thing about us and our people, man, we got to learn to start taking some of these chances. We take the wrong chances. We got to
Okay.
start taking the right chances, and
Uh-huh.
bet on ourselves sometimes. So that's what I did, man. I bet on myself, jumped out here, started my own company. Over the years, you got a lot of people. Man, sometimes it's people you even forget about that remember you. And
Right.
when you post that, and I posted, my status on LinkedIn, and dude, I started getting, emails and text messages. Hey, man, how you doing? You doing this? I see you on your own. Hey, let me see you some work. Hey, take a look at this for me. And that just began the journey. So, like I said, this was October, November of 2019, and now we're almost 2 years later, and things are going good, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And listen, man, God knows I'm so happy for you and really proud of you. And you said something really, really important right there. And what I took from it is that, a lot of the times we want to do something, we want to do stuff, but we don't believe enough in ourselves to do it.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that kill us. So tell me, man, because again, I know it's scary. I know the jump is scary. I know that, when you start looking at, man, I got to do this and I may get out there and fall on my face. What did you do? What gave you the courage to be able to go ahead and do the jump anyhow?
Oh man, um, there's a lot of stuff, man. You get it, and you start reflecting over life. And I can remember, even when I got into this industry, and I got three quick promotions, right?
Hmm.
And then all my supervisors were like, "Yeah, James will be running this place in 20 years. You'll be president of the company in 20 years." And you get these little things, but you don't believe in yourself, so you just say, "Ah, they just talking."
Hmm.
Um, and as time goes on, you get these little things that come at you like that, man, and you got to start paying attention to those types of things. I've heard people say, and I've heard these some other motivational speakers and stuff like that. Man, said that all you need to do is be 10% better than everybody around you, and you'll
Uh-huh.
get noticed.
Okay.
And and man, coming from 101st Airborne, you know what I'm saying? But we used to doing it. We used to doing it the hard way to get it right.
Yes,
So,
sir.
um, man, I just took some of that with me, and I always told my kids, I said, I don't care what it is that you do in life, just be the best at it. I don't care if you scrubbing tallest, man. You just be the best tallest scrubber.
That's right.
Somebody gonna say, that toilet right there was off the chain.
That's right. That's right.
So
Clean the toilet.
that,
I will put my hindquarters on.
yeah, man. So, dude, that's just the approach I took in life, and just everything that I do, I just try to be the best at it.
That's right.
And you'll get noticed for that, man. People will notice that. People will know when you go the extra mile. Like I told you, called me earlier, man. I was just heading home, but I had just pulled a all nighter. I slept at the office just getting a job that had to submit today.
Right.
I could have pushed it out, but the client was expecting it today. And his words were, man, James, if you can get this done, you'll make me look like a hero.
Wow.
That's all you need to tell me.
That's right.
Just remember that on the next job. I made you look like a hero.
That's right.
So, man, yeah, it takes that dedication and that commitment to getting it done.
That's right.
And
That's right.
once you get that in you, I don't care what you do, man. I'm frying fries at McDonald's. My fries are the best.
That's right.
You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? So that's all, man. I try to. Man, this stuff ain't rocket science, man. Just be good at what you do. Um, and then that next thing, like I said, is what our people have a problem with is betting on yourself.
Right.
Everybody else bet on us. They hire you. They betting on you when they hire you.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So why don't you take some of that faith that we all seem to have, and let's use some of that faith on ourselves.
That's right. Man,
Get out
that's
here and
rich.
get some of this.
Man, that's rich because again, and like I say, man, you said a mouthful right then when you said that employers take a risk with us. They're willing, whatever your salary is, whether it's 100,000 or 30,000 or $21,000 a year, they are taking a gamble on you when you sit down and do that interview. And one of the things that I've noticed is, being in business for myself, I know, like you said, I know what I've given employers. I know the stuff I've done. I've missed birthday parties. I've missed nights and weekends. I've missed all kind of life events. However, that's doing that for somebody else. And so I had to ask myself one day, if I can do that for somebody else, what in the world can I do for me? If I do all of this for everyone else, can I not invest in myself? And, that's a gut check moment. I know it was for me. That was a gut check moment for me because when you have to ask yourself, uh, I work for everybody else, but can I work for myself? That's just something that for me, I know that was a gut check moment, and that was a moment when I just had to start facing the music. I know, like you say, what people say about you, how they say you go above and beyond, you'll be this and that. And I remember I got burned one time, man. I worked for this one company, man, and I gave it everything I had, and I just knew that I was going to be good. And there was a position that I was actually already doing the job. And I was like, certainly, they're gonna allow me to get this position and not necessarily have to have the requirements that everybody else have. And like you say, at the 101st, they teach you, the minimum is 100%. You see what I'm saying? You always go above and beyond. But I remember, bro, I learned how to do the job they wanted me to do, and I was doing it. But they wouldn't give me the job because they say, well, Rod, you don't have a degree. And this position has to have a degree. I said, but I'm doing the job. And I remember that, then they ended up closing down. So they started doing a reduction in force. And man, that just hurt me to my heart. And if I'm honest, bro, it kind of gave me a little skunk in my shorts, man, because I was
Yeah,
like,
that boost, boy. It put that
man,
battery
look,
in your back.
I was like, no, I was like, nah, man, y'all didn't let me go like this, man. How could y'all just let me go like that after all I've done? Again, I was a number. And so what I started doing, man, I started getting my degrees, man. That's when I got my bachelor's degree, and then I got my master's degree. And I started having companies that were like, well, hey, we need you to work all these hours and everything else. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. You hear what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that. You're going to pay me what you're going to pay me. But what I'm saying is, I started realizing at that point in time that while I had been a good employee, I had gotten to a point where I knew that the work ethic that I had was more than an employee. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm hearing from you, man, where you knew that you had it. Because again, it's been 20 years. Did they ever make you the president of the company?
No, man. No, man. Dude, I got the position, project manager, coordinator,
Yep,
supervisor, manager, always at that level, never that next level up.
that's right.
That CEO, that VP,
That's
all
right.
those types of positions, they hold that over for other people.
That's right.
Um,
True story.
and I'm doing the work, and
Yeah.
I remember, man, I had the VP of the company come down to my office one time and said, well, basically, based off the work that you did, the company door is gonna stay open this month just because of the billing that you turned in. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, wait, what?
That's right.
Hold on, what I did, keeping the doors of this 150, 200 employee company open?
That's right.
Like I said, man, you get them little things, man, as time goes on, you got to start reflecting. And, man, I was like, oh, dang, I did that much?
Yeah.
But you know what happens when you doing all that? Like I said, all you got to do is be 10% better. I was doing all-nighters,
Yeah.
back-to-back all-nighters. I come in on a Thursday and leave out Tuesday morning.
Wow.
Yeah, I've done those types of things, man, for my
Yeah.
old boss. Now I'm doing for myself.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But yeah, man, it's amazing, bro. We have to learn, like I said, and that's my biggest thing is we just got to jump and we got to learn to start betting on ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to learn to start betting on ourselves.
Yeah. But I think again, because again, you want to make sure it's a sure bet, right? And as we were talking earlier, one of the things that I was saying was, and again, if correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the reason why a lot of people won't bet on themselves is because they don't believe in themselves.
Hmm.
And they've gotten so pacified with not having the responsibility of being able to, uh, how do I want to say it? Having the responsibility of meeting the needs of my family. You know what I'm saying? Being the best me that I can be so that I could put food on the table. You see what I'm saying? So that I can change our economic status from just barely making it to having a little something, something, and then moving on up to the east side in the sky. You get what I'm saying? And what's your point on that, man? I don't want to do all the talking.
Man, look, I know one thing: your employer will never pay you good enough to be his neighbor.
Uh,
So if you want that penthouse on the east side in the sky, it's gonna be hard being somebody's employee.
uh-huh.
You got to go into employer status. And look, I know, man. I know some people, bro. That this is hard stuff to hear. Like, how do I get into business, dude? Back in the '90s, when I was between LSU and the military and all that kind of stuff, and even if I wanted to start a business, then I had no clue how to do it.
Right.
Man, the internet has changed it all, baby.
Yes,
It's
sir.
all online. You go to YouTube, type anything, and learn how to. Man, I could build a nuclear bomb off of YouTube, baby.
Yes,
So
sir.
the information is there.
Yep.
We just have to start applying said information.
That's right.
We get on the social media sites and we doing TikToks and dancing, and we know all the latest dance moves and all the latest rap videos and cool.
That's right.
Hey, I'm a rap head. You know me, baby, Biggie and
Yeah.
Pop.
Yes.
But man, we gotta learn. We gotta do more. We got to start taking this stuff seriously, man. America, think about that, man. Everybody comes here for the American dream, and we sitting right here.
Yep. Yep.
We
Yep.
need to start partaking in that American dream.
Yeah. 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 And that's where, you know, again, I think the education is right. I mean, and I'm big on mentorship. If I see somebody's
Yep.
doing something, I'm not too proud to be like, hey, bro, what you got going on, man? How you doing this here? You know, how you doing that there? I'm personally not too proud to ask questions or just sit there and observe. But I think it has to be a priority for you, right?
Yep.
I've often heard that readers are leaders. And man, if I could just, talk even a little bit about myself, when I got into this insurance business, I started doing it and I was like, well, it's kind of coming along. It's kind of not. And I just kind of started doing it, but I wasn't necessarily putting my whole heart into it because, I had a lot of stuff on my feelings, because I was like, people ain't buying, blah, blah. And so I started thinking about how much time I would waste, right? Where I might get on the game and, be playing PlayStation, hooping it up or whatever the case may be, or again, on Facebook, arguing and stuff like this here. And then I just started looking, you know what, man, I could put this into my business. If I can put this energy into growing me, first of all, because my business won't grow if I don't grow. My business won't grow if I don't change me, if I don't see myself being successful. And when I say seeing myself, not just some pie in the sky, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have agencies all across the country, and I'm gonna have one on the moon as well, but really being able to see myself being successful. You get what I'm saying? And being able to not just see myself being successful, but tell myself, now, how are you gonna do it? Right? And that's when it started to get to be real to me. Because I said, well, first of all, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna outwork, I'm gonna out hustle anybody when it comes to this. I'm gonna learn my craft. And man, I started reading, and the best thing that I did, the best money that I spent, I think it's $15 a month, was getting Audible. That's the best investment that I've made, apart from joining in my life insurance industry. Why is that? Because now I have access to, where I've heard songs and heard music, time and time again. Now when I'm driving, I'm listening, I'm reading, someone is narrating to me, they're talking to me. Stuff that's always going to continue to challenge me to grow and be a better person. You have any situations like that?
Oh man, yeah, I like to read, but it's hard finding the time for me as busy as I am.
Right.
What I do is I listen to podcasts and man, a lot of motivational speaking. At night I actually go to sleep listening to the Bible.
Right.
So, and that's funny, dude, because with I got the little earpiece I put in my ear, so I fall asleep with the earpiece, and that thing lasts for 6 hours. So in the middle of the night, boy, it's funny when you get a word, you get that word in the middle of the night, and you wake up, oh wait, oh what? What was
Listen,
that?
yeah, I hear you,
Hold
Lord.
on, let me write that down. I need to
Right.
use that.
That's right.
So, yeah, man. We talked about reading. I read, Robert Kiyosaki's book. I read The Richest Man in Babylon, 48 Laws of Power. Dave Ramsey. I read Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. Oh man, how long ago has that been? Not 15 years ago.
Right.
So yeah, man, just reading, getting these little pieces of knowledge, and then applying, like I said, applying said knowledge, and man, you'll be surprised how far it can get you, man.
Yeah,
You'll be
absolutely.
surprised.
Yeah. One of the books that I read that really, really pushed me was by a guy I follow, Patrick Bet David. And it was Your Next Five Moves. And me being the analytical person that I am, that spoke to me, right? Because I'm always looking ahead. I'm always trying to strategize and make sure. But sometimes you just got to hear it from a different perspective. And that was one of the books that I really, really liked. that really kind of motivated me to look more at me than to look at anybody else. And for me, that is what I believe gave me the ability to experience, the transformative breakthrough that I've experienced, right? Just being able to look at me and say, all right, man, you coming up short. You know what I mean? Again, growing up and in my experience, I knew how to be good, but I wanted to be great. And I realized that, and I was trying to figure out the best way to say it. So I guess I'll just say it. But everybody say they want to be a CEO, but they don't understand the mind of a CEO. And in order to be a CEO, or should I say an effective CEO, you have to have the mind of a CEO. And what I find, and again, you can jump in here and there, but I find that I'm always thinking ahead. What can I do to increase my brand? What can I do to make sure that the experience that my customers and that those that partner with me, the experience that they have gives them the desire to want to continue to do business with generational wealth builders. What do you think?
Man, that whole mentality, dude. I heard Eric Thomas say, everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I think about. Because man, when you talking about starting your own company, like I told you, I jumped out there, man. It was no parachute. It was we made it to the island. We burned the boats.
Yes.
No going back.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
when you get that entrepreneurship, that mentality, man, you start looking at everything like, man, this, I've been doing this for a while. Maybe I can swing this and then try to make some money, or maybe do this, and then you get to talking to everybody and telling everybody, look, man, hey, look, you ought to try to do this and do this, and some people receive it, some people don't,
That's right.
but the mentality changes,
That's right.
and so I gotta be, I've been careful about that, sometimes, not trying to throw my pearls at swine, because sometimes you got to look at the audience that you're working with. And of course, we always want to
That's
help
right.
our people,
That's right.
but you got to look at the audience that you're working with, and you got to kind of know. All right, throw a little bit something out there and see if they catch it. And if they catch it and they ask more, then you go. But if they don't, cut it off, dude, and let them figure it out for yourself and go ahead and do what you need to do.
That's right.
And don't waste your time, trying to get people in line. But yeah, man, that CEO mentality, that entrepreneurship mentality, man, it's a shark.
Yeah.
It's a shark out here. You
Absolutely.
know,
Absolutely.
you sit down at these tables and these boardrooms, and you
Mm.
get to talking with these people, man. They don't care how good, how
That's
good you
right.
follow God and all of that, man. They want to know, hey, can you get it done? Results.
That's right. Absolutely.
So you got to come in with that mentality, man. You got to be a shark,
That's right.
and you got to do what you say you're gonna do.
That's right.
Integrity.
That's right.
Do what you say you're gonna do. If I'm gonna do this, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't care. I mean, nobody cares about how late you stayed up over the
That's right.
last 3 months getting this big project done. James, you
That's
gave me
right.
a bid. I took your bid, and I
That's right.
gave the project to you, and the schedule is based off of you, buddy.
That's
Now
right.
you telling me you're gonna be 3 weeks late?
Yep. Yep.
All because you went to the casino three weekends in a row, and then you went to Vegas another week. You know what I'm saying, man? Don't nobody care about that,
That's right. That's right.
man.
So
You
go
trying to
ahead.
build a brand, your name, dude. You got to get it done.
Yeah. So,
So,
so so I see we have a comment here from one of my business partners, Eleanor Glover. And she's saying, visualize yourself being successful and implement the steps. And I think you were getting ready to go there now. But what's your take on that? How do you visualize yourself being successful and then begin to implement the steps?
oh man, my visualization started with my family.
Right.
This right here, what I got going on. My 3 kids working in the office right down for me, and just not stressed. And we putting in hours, dude. We putting in
Mhm.
12, 16 hours a day. I,
Right.
I was having a discussion with my son, and we was talking about that, man. Dad, what does it take to be successful? I said 80 hours a week.
Right.
That's what it's gonna take. And he just said, all right, and walked off and went back to work.
Yep.
And all I can do is hear them in the office, man, having a good time. Still,
Right.
I walked in and looked, and they, hey man, what about that? Yeah,
Yep.
that's where mine began. Was my visualization with my family, dude. So, especially when I had my baby girl, I'm like, my baby girl, no, she when she get ready to get out in this world, she gonna have a kingdom laid down in front of her.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's where mine began. And then after that, everything else is easy.
Right.
It ain't the money.
Yeah.
Is what's the purpose? What are you doing it for? Everything else is easy.
That's right.
And that's
That's
for
right.
my baby girl and my boys.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
grandkids whenever they get along, but I ain't ready for them yet.
Right. And I think that's phenomenal because that visualization, because we are visual people. 90% of our communication is visual, right? It's non-verbal communication. But to be able to see it, right? To see yourself being successful. Um, I know for me, I agree with you. For me, it's not about money. Then again, money will come. But
Yeah.
when you can start to see those things, and this is, of what you define to be success. Like for me, I want to transform people's thinking about poverty. Again, our motto here is where poverty ends with us. Generational wealth builders. Poverty ends here. So we can help you get out of poverty, right? And when people come and then when they start partaking, they're like, good God Almighty, you mean to tell me I can be debt free? Absolutely. You mean to tell me that I can have that kind of money in my retirement? Absolutely. And when I start to see people's faces like, oh my God, and then they go and tell, like, hey, man, this guy here, I got a friend, and I helped him and his family. And now every time he goes somewhere, he said, oh, there's my guy. There's my financial guy. I got to get with him before I do anything. You get what I'm saying? For me, that's success where the blood, the sweat, the tears, all of the stuff that makes me, that builds this brand of me. And Lady Glover put something else in there talking about your brand means integrity. But everything that makes me, everything that follows and culminates with this brand, when people receive it, for me, visually, it's like when a chef prepares a meal and he knows that he's made it, but he's not necessarily concerned about his reaction. He wants to see the reaction of the one that tastes it, right? And so that for me is where I think when we start visualizing ourselves being successful, it's not so much about it. Like you say, it's your family, but being able to see how your son said 80 hours a week, no problem. But guess what? When you work in these other people's jobs, man, I ain't finna work these, man. They got the wrong one if they think I'm gonna be working 80 hours a week, right? So that's for me, I think is again just another testament to just being a CEO minded, right? Again, you could have been like, well, son, don't worry about it. Just do what you do and everything else. But you put it out there what he needed to be
I
successful
hold
for him.
nothing back, man. I hold
Absolutely.
nothing back with my kids. I tell them the truth.
That's
Look,
right.
I don't want y'all to get out here and get smacked in the face. Daddy, you didn't tell us this. No, I tell them the truth. Look,
Yeah.
we building, you know, let's be frank. I'm a black man trying to build a business in America
Hmm.
on the engineering side of things, engineering and architectural world. Ain't many of us out here.
Right.
So we all know that saying, man, you black, we got to be 10 times better than everybody else just to get our foot in the door.
Right.
And then we got to do everything that we say we gonna do. That one thing slip up, and boy, they coming down with the wrath of God on you.
Right.
So, nah, I hold nothing back, and I tell this to my kids. Look, bro, I'm looking for excellence.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't mind you making mistakes, but I gotta know that you tried your hardest to figure this out. Everybody makes mistakes. With experience and over time, you'll learn how to circumvent the mistakes. Don't worry about that, man. Make the mistake. That way you can learn from it.
That's right.
But I want to see you trying. I want to see excellence.
That's right.
I told my children, I said, when we hire employees, that whole thing where sometimes you go in a company and the owner and hired his brother and hired his son and his mama-in-law and everybody, and they just sitting there, got cushy jobs, sitting there chilling all day.
Yeah.
People gonna look at y'all and say, I do not want to be that man's children.
That's right.
They work hard. So that's the type of thing I always talk to my kids about, man. Look, we got to set that standard. I don't want nobody coming in here and looking like, man, this is gonna be a cake, man. This a black man. He chill, and I am easy going. I'm chill, But when you come here, man, did you see how late? What time he left it? How long, Mr. Jackson? Did you go home?
Yeah, that's right.
No, we all stay here.
That's right. That's right.
There's a degree of excellence that I expect from them.
That's right.
That I expect from myself. And I told them, I said, they got some little buddies and stuff like, yeah, man, we want to come work with your father and this and that. Nah, hold on, bro. There's a standard here. And I told my kids, I say, look, if you see your little buddies in here, you know what I expect out of y'all.
That's right.
I'm gonna expect the same thing out of them.
That's right.
So if they not ready for that, bro, don't send them here. I'm gonna have them crying.
That's right.
I'm gonna have them crying.
That's right.
But dude, that's what we need. That's what our people need. That's what our men need. This is what black men need. We need to start stepping up and being men and get it done.
That's right.
Do what you say you gonna do and get it done.
That's right.
And that's the main thing that I hold my kids. Look, do what you say you're gonna do.
That's right.
You need some help, fine, call for help. But if I'm helping you, you better be right here next door trying to get it done with me.
That's right. Well, but I think that goes back to leadership, right? And it's hard to be a leader. And I put a post out there today, and it's funny you should come up on that. It doesn't take anything to be a leader, because the truth of the matter is, you can be a bad influence, right? Because all leadership is influence, right? So it takes nothing to be a leader, but it takes everything to be a great leader. It takes a lot, going above and beyond, and really being willing to be the model. And again, I got to go back to what Lady Glover was saying here, how brand means integrity. And again, when you understand, and I guess got to pull the scriptures in here, it talks about write the vision and make it plain, that he may run that reads it. And part of that vision has to be in you. I get irritated sometimes when I'm talking to folk, and they're trying to tell me, yeah, man, I want to start me a business. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, what do you want to do? Well, man, and then they start going into this long, drawn out song and dance and about how, they want to do this and they want to do that. And I ask them very simple question. Okay, you have a business plan? Well, no, man, I ain't got there yet and everything. Oh, okay, you ain't got no business plan. Okay. So what are you doing to perfect your craft? What's going to be different about you than anybody else? Well, man, I haven't got there yet, but I'm just saying I want to do it. You know what I tell them? You ain't trying to be in business. You're just telling yourself that. You just want to hear yourself talk. You just want to feel good. But again, like we're talking about tonight, are you comfortable where you are? And what I love is honest dialogue. Just keep it 100. If you're not a boss, if you're not a business guy, you're just not a business guy. Or a businesswoman. I mean, just say it. No, I'm just gonna make these little hours, get these little checks, and I'm gonna go on about my business.
You ain't a beast.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Or a savage, right? You ain't a savage at all. Because again, it takes a savage to be willing to get out there and do the things that you have to do to grow your business, right? You can't just be the nice guy or the nice person in business. You can be pleasant, but again, people have, you're talking about these young people coming. If these people come to your business and they're not holding up your standard, you can't be like, well, I got to keep paying them because they my kids' friends and all this, that. No, you got to go, fam. You got to go. If you can't uphold the standard that has been set, for this brand. If you can't hold up the standard, then you just got to go. And that kind of the circle back is why I feel like, man, a lot of people fall into the employee status where I believe they really may want to get out and do something. And then even the business that they get into, it's something where it does not add value, right? Like, well, I don't want to call no business name out, but like some of these little third little marketing businesses that they do, like the healthcare and stuff like that, little healthcare items and stuff like that, and the little candles and all that. Well, here's the thing: that somebody might have made a whole lot of money when it first came out, but when the market got saturated, you ain't gonna make that money. And now you have a bandwagon. Yeah, you having to invest. So it's almost like what was the gold rush, right? Well, during the gold rush, when they found out there was gold there, whoosh, people started getting there. But guess what? The gold was already gone. It was already accounted for. They say it's gold over here. Swoosh, everybody over there trying to mine and find gold. Swoosh. And that's what people are doing. And they feel like, well, because I'm doing something, I'm doing something. But we got to get to a place. And that's what I'm hoping that this type of dialogue will do. This kind of open and real dialogue will help people reevaluate themselves and say, you know what, I'm not happy just clocking a 9 to 5. But what do I need to do to be able, as you say, to make that jump with no parachute?
Oh man. Like I said, for me, it was easy. It was family. That's my whole purpose, dude, was family. Mm-hmm. I would say for each individual, it would be finding what's the purpose. Mm-hmm. What is your purpose? Especially if, like you said, you ain't got family and stuff like that. Okay, well, what's your drive? What's your purpose? You need to figure that out.
That's right.
Some people, man, it take them a long time. You know me. You was there when I had the first little dog.
Yeah.
And you know how we would run it, dog. And then I had to check, man, bro, I got a son now.
Yeah. That's right. True story.
So that purpose locked in for me early on.
Right.
And it's just for my life has just been about that. Then I added 2 more on top of that, and then it's just shoot.
Yeah.
I put them all in college and all that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's purpose, dude. You got to figure out your purpose, and then it's easy from there. Once you get that purpose, man, it's easy from there.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what else to tell anyone else is you need to figure out your purpose.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, I've enjoyed this chat tonight, man. Again, I'm godly proud of you, man. Super duper proud of you, man.
Man, I'm proud of you too, man.
Oh, man, you're doing big things out there in the grandiose city of Dallas, Texas. Just making an impact, man. Like I say, and I'll just be honest, man. It wasn't until I used to somewhat overlook the value of brick and mortar buildings, right? Again, I'm in supply chain, I'm consulting, I'm all about saving costs. Do you really need to have a brick and mortar building? And that was my whole thing. Oh, well, why am I going to add an additional cost and this, that, and the other? But I tell you what, man, since we moved into this building, it has changed my total outlook, right?
Yep.
It sets your business apart. Like you say, it made me elevate my game because I'm like,
yep.
Now, I'm official.
That extra battery in your back.
Absolutely. This is official. And sometimes, I come here and like you say, and my wife will testify and say, man, sometimes, I'll stay in here, man, to 10, 11 o'clock at night, man. Again, still hustling, still reading, still grinding, still trying to grow, still calling, still following up, doing those things, man, to continue to help grow my brand. And the thing is, what I did when I was in my home, I know I have to do here now. You see what I'm saying? And then even from that CEO mindset, I'm already looking past this one and I'm thinking about my future.
The next thing up.
So
I'm like that too. The building I'm in right now, I'm on the 3rd level, and it's a tower. It goes up to I think 15, 16 floors, and so I took the elevator up to the 16th floor. So you get the view all around the city of Dallas. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I need to be up here. So I'm already planning that next move, man. I'm going up there. I'm gonna take the whole flow, dog.
That's right.
I'm trying to get that whole flow.
That's what I'm talking about.
you
And you
gotta
gonna
you
get it,
gotta
man.
keep them vision. Yep. You gotta keep going with it, man. You can't just stop it. It's I mean, living is progress. You know, as long as you living, you still making progress. So yeah, I just keep on going, keep on growing.
Yes,
That's
sir.
my plan, man.
Yeah. Well, man, like I say, God knows I'm super proud of you. I can't even put it into words, man. Because again, I know how you are about family. I know how you are about that. And to be able to have all your babies there,
Oh
right there
man,
grinding with you, man, I already know. And
man,
again,
warms my heart, man.
I know it can't even be put into words, man. And again, man, I just salute you. And I thank you, man, for getting on tonight, man, and sharing a little bit about yourself and about your business and what drives you, man. And man, look, we're gonna see each other soon here in Charleston.
Oh
But I'm
yeah.
gonna go ahead and book my ticket. And but yeah, man, yeah, man, I'm just godly proud of you, man. God knows I am, man. And man, go ahead and you can close us out tonight, man, with any parting words of wisdom or whatever it is you want to say, man.
I would just say for those out there, man, just find your purpose and focus in on that, and that'll lead you down so many paths, man. The path of greatness. The path of greatness is paved through your purpose.
Yep. Yep. That's wonderful, man. Well, listen, that's our time, folks. Again, great man, great friend of mine, Mr. James G. Jackson, and the G is for
It is.
Gedrick.
Gedrick
And
all day.
yes, sir. And out of Louisiana, and we friends right now, but I think we got to meet each other here in a few weeks. Them Gators versus them Tigers. So
Oh Lord. Oh, this ain't our year, man. This not
yeah,
our year.
yeah. But again, great friend of mine. And again, like, share this video. Hope you got some value out of it. Listen, it's your boy, Pastor Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, where poverty ends with us. Have a good night and God bless. Thank you.